you guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Christina, and in today's video I am going to be trying to figure out how to position myself that you don't see my Christmas tree. Just kidding, I'm doing an unboxing for you guys, but I was trying to figure out if I could hide my Christmas tree. I told you guys in one of my previous videos that I was having a hard time taking it down because it's like so healthy and beautiful still. A friend of mine just stopped over and she's like, "You still have your tree up?" She's like, "This is a really nice tree. Where'd you get it?" She thought it was fake. She's like, "This is the most beautiful tree I've ever seen. It's so healthy." So that's the struggle, guys. I don't know. I've always thought it was so weird when people didn't take their trees right down because I'm a take it right down person. But here we are. The tree is still up. At least I took the ornaments off, right? Anyways, before we get much further, I want to share with you that I have 2 boxes of curriculum to share with you, so quite a few things. I know I told you guys that my very next video that I was going to be filming was my motherhood book recommendations, and I didn't. But that is going to be my very next video because right after I'm done filming this one, I am going to film that one and it will go up after this one. So either the same week or the week after. Keep a lookout for, like, we'll call it my 2023 motherhood and homeschool must-reads. We'll go with that. But before we jump in, I want to thank First Step Phonics for sponsoring today's video. And I'm so excited to show you what First Step Phonics sent me. I shared with you guys a couple months ago, they sent me the first books, which are like their first beginning readers. And I've been reading some of them here and there with my 4-year-old, and he really loves them because I use that as kind of like our one-on-ones or our one-on-one time. It's not the only thing we do for one-on-one time. We probably do it a couple times a week at most at this point when he is interested, but he really does love like grabbing his books, just like he sees his older siblings grabbing their books and doing their independent work or doing one-on-ones with me. And so he really loves that, even though I don't feel the need to push academics at his age. I get asked so much, mostly over on Instagram, like, what do I recommend for starting homeschool, for preschool, for kindergarten? Like, what curriculum, what program, how do I teach reading? And so I also want to talk to you guys a little bit about that today, about my approach to early education, which is very, I would say, Charlotte Mason inspired in the sense that I am not huge on pushing formal academics at this age. Although if it works for you and your family and that's what you do, and everything works, wonderful. I know there's people that have, like, I guess 3, but definitely 4-year-olds that can read and stuff like that. That is not what's going on over here, just keeping it real. But I'm not really trying to teach him reading at this time. It's more about me presenting him with options and beautiful things to learn with, and then what he's interested in he can explore, and what he's not, there is zero pressure right now. I just put it away until it's time to like try it out again. And so that's where we're at with teaching him as far as any formal academics go. So keep that in mind as I show you what I got from First Step Phonics. It's like quite a bit of stuff. I took it out of the box already. What I have here is what would come after the first books. So the first books focus mostly on 2-letter words with some 3-letter words mixed in. And then these focus on 3-letter words. Obviously there will be some like 2-letter words mixed in, but the focus is 3-letter words. And I love the way these are set up. Grade K through 1, and it is level 1, short vowels, 3-letter words. Set 1 focuses on short A. So these first 5 books all focus on short A words. Then the next pack, which is set 2, the next 5 books focuses on short E. And then you have short I for the 3rd set, short O for the 4th set, and then short U for the 5th set. So I'm super excited about these. These are out of the packages because my little guy saw them, because I opened the box and then just had the box open, getting ready to do this unboxing for you guys. And he's like, "Oh my gosh, are these for me?" And I was like, "They are for you." And he wanted to see them. And so we did a little activity with them and stuff, and he really, really liked it. So I would not say he is like an emerging reader. He is not, like, he cannot read. He still is like getting solid on his letters and sounds and all of that. So we are not in a rush over here. However, I do love that he's interested, and I do love that I have these on hand for when he becomes ready. And so we are going to use these like in our one-on-one time once he kind of gets bored with the first books, which probably is not going to be like too far out now. I feel like he's probably going to get, I could be wrong, but I feel like he's probably going to get bored of me reading them to him fairly soon, because it's been a few months of me reading him like these same 12 simple books. And then what will be cool about it is we can put them away until he is at the point where he is ready to be reading them on his own. And then at that point, we can start like really digging into these. And I feel like that will be a really cool additional way to use these, other than these being his personal readers. This is what I'm really excited about though, about this set. This set also has workbooks that come along with it. Now, if you've been following me, you know that I'm not like a huge workbook, worksheets person, especially with the younger ages. But these remind me a lot of Explode the Code, but better. So I really like Explode the Code. I did use Explode the Code a little bit for independent work for my 7-year-old when she was 6. When she really when she was at that point where I was like, okay, she really needs and wants that phonics practice and needs and wants some independent work where she feels like she can sit down and do something on her own with very minimal questions for me. So it worked really well for us, and I still think Explode the Code is great. But I want to tell you the differences. These align. This is something that I don't believe Explode the Code offers, which I think is what makes this really unique, is that each of these sets, so set 1 short A has a workbook. Workbook 1 is all about short A. Now, does it touch on other concepts? Sure. Like in here, you will find like review of like all of the uppercase and lowercase letters, matching them, tracing them, writing them, all different things like that in here. And then obviously as it progresses, you are doing things like circling the pictures that match the word. This is where I'm getting like the Explode the Code vibes. There's quite a few different pages in here that I feel like have that same type of flow or style. So if you like Explode the Code, I feel like this goes a little bit more in depth, because whereas you might have like level 2 in Explode the Code, which is like, you know, maybe doesn't last as long as you would like it to last, I feel like this digs in deeper. So you have 5 workbooks instead of 1. So if you do have a child who gets super into it, like for whatever reason, my 7-year-old, like I said, who was 6 at the time, she loved Explode the Code, like loved it. Like she would sit there and just happily do 3 and 4 pages on her own. So she flew through that book and it worked really well for her. So I just love having these so that when he is ready, we will have these and they align with the books, which I just feel is so awesome to just kind of be working on those skills together. I just feel like it's such a strong way of doing it, especially because at the current moment, I do not plan on using a kindergarten like full curriculum for him, like a full reading curriculum or a full math curriculum or anything like that. I really plan to do a more like Charlotte Mason style of learning with him. And then we will have this for our phonics to go along with like phonics, hands-on phonics activities that I do with him, which is what I did with him when he wanted to dig into these books. Obviously you could just read these and that's what they're intended for, and that's wonderful, but I really like kind of like the hands-on play aspect of it. These are amazing. I will link these down below for you guys. There is a discount code to get 20% off. So if you buy through my link, you will get 20% off First Step, anything First Step Phonics, which is really awesome. So if you're looking for the first books, if you're looking for this, and then obviously they have all the other different levels. So this is just level 1, and then they have other levels as well if your children are beyond this point, but you're looking for some support in reading and phonics. So definitely check those out if that's something you're looking for. Now I have a whole box of stuff here from The Good and the Beautiful, which I am super excited about because I have not opened any of this, and so it'll be my first time seeing it. Now, if you follow me over on Instagram, you probably would have seen my post last week, the beginning of last week, where I was talking about this new release from The Good and the Beautiful, which is the My First Africa Reader. What's so cool about this, other than the fact that it's a new release, is that $5 from the sale, every sale of this book will go directly to building wells in Africa, because The Good and the Beautiful has partnered with an organization that has no like overhead fees or anything like that. All of that stuff is paid for by private donations. So every single donation goes to actually building wells. So it's such a cool thing. And I love these readers from The Good and the Beautiful. Before I actually decided to go with a curriculum for my daughter for language arts, my 7-year-old, because I wasn't going to. We only use it like twice, maybe 3 times a week at most. So we use it in a different way than like typical curriculum. I got her the My Third Nature reader because I just thought it was so beautiful and so well done. And it coincides with the level 2 language arts from The Good and the Beautiful. So it ended up working out really well. She loves it. And it also reinforces concepts, kind of like how I was explaining with the First Step Phonics readers and workbooks. So anyways, this My First Africa reader, I was flipping through it. This is the only thing that I actually looked at because it wasn't like wrapped in its own plastic, and I was super excited to see it. There are all different concepts covered in here, and it tells you right in the table of contents, which I love. But one of the other things that I really love about this is every story has this geography aspect where you have the continent of Africa, and then the country that the story is set in is highlighted. And so there's this really authentic, natural way that they've woven in geography that's just so beautifully done. I just love it. This story takes place in Kenya, and then Kenya is highlighted. It's just so beautiful. So this would be like a level K. They're My First readers are level K. They're My Second readers are level 1. And then their My Third readers are to go with The Good and the Beautiful level 2. Again, just like I got the My Third Nature reader for my 7-year-old on its own before I got the curriculum, these are just great for reading support, or if you just want to have reading on this topic, they're wonderful books to have. But also, if you are going to get the curriculum or you have the curriculum, these just add such an added layer of learning. So love these so much, and you're donating to building wells in Africa. So I will link these down below in the description box as well. I also have stuff for my older kids in here, which I'm really excited about. But before I get to that, I have been going back and forth about this one for a while because I feel like we do a lot of nature study on our own, and we do a lot of like learning all together. And I finally broke down and I was like, I want Science for Little Hearts and Hands. And I'm gonna open it up right now. I'm here with you guys. So what I'm excited about this, guys, is not that this is like curriculum for younger kids, which I keep saying is like not important to me, because it's not. But I feel like my younger kids are gonna be really excited that this is for them. And so I really feel like definitely my 7-year-old, because this is geared for pre-K through 2nd grade. And this is the Big Book of Science Stories, Fields and Flowers. And I definitely feel like they're gonna be excited about this. So look at, again, how beautiful. So they do it through narrative story form, and then all of these little facts. And then they have this little parent guide. It's just so beautiful. I just love their stuff so much, more and more every day. And they, it directs you to go to story time. My 2-year-old's napping on the couch right there. I'm hoping she stays asleep. And then there are discussion questions. I'm just so excited to have this for my littles. Let me know if you've used this Science for Little Hearts and Hands. I heard that they're coming out with the next one for next year, for next school year. And I forget what that one is going to be about, what the topic is, because this is Fields and Flowers. So that is right up our alley. We might try to start that in the spring, because that's a perfect time, right, to start learning about fields and flowers. And so I'm really excited. I'll keep you guys posted. Originally, I was gonna save it for next school year for like my 3 youngest, just to have something like this is their school. So I'll keep you posted if we get to it in spring or not. The next one, I've been telling you guys since probably summer that I plan to do some chemistry this year, because I have a 10th grader, and technically in 10th grade in New York, I don't know if this is everywhere, but at least in New York, they do chemistry. And I also talked a lot about how I did not feel the need to do a year-long chemistry course with him because that's just not how we homeschool. I know some people do homeschool that way. They have, 6 to 8 different courses that their children are doing for high school, and that works for them, and all of the things. That's just not our style of homeschooling. However, I did want him to have some experience with chemistry. So this is their chemistry course book from The Good and the Beautiful. Now this says it's for 5th through 8th grade. And you may be thinking like, that's quite a bit of a stretch. He's in 10th grade, but I'm not worried about it. I plan to do this mostly with my older 2 kids. So my 11-year-old and my 15-year-old, he is a very young 10th grader. So more like 9th grade if you're looking at grade levels and how those things line up. But I definitely feel like this is going to be a lot of stuff that he doesn't know, and maybe even a lot of stuff that I don't know. So I follow that loosely. I like that it's there because it helps you and guides you about like, what can I use, what makes sense. But then this book is also what they include as like the 7th and 8th grade extension. So we'll also read this as a read aloud probably. This is about Marie Curie. And this is a level 8 book, which I'm okay if it is not a level 10 book. That does not bother me at all because my 7-year-old will probably listen in on this read aloud and sit in for some of the lessons. And then we also have these little books that come with it as well. The Story of Alice Ball. So this will definitely be even more geared towards her and my 11-year-old. But again, high schoolers love picture books too. I love picture books. So I feel like this is still a great, beautiful little biography that all of my kids will benefit from that ties in with the learning about chemistry. And then we have the Book of Elements. So I'm actually really excited to teach even my high schooler chemistry with this course. And obviously I will keep you posted as we get into it. But I just feel like, why not have like this fun, engaging, beautiful way? Like it doesn't now need to be this dry chemistry textbook or this online course because it's in high school. Like the information is the same. So I am not worried about it, right? Like the periodic table of elements is the periodic table of elements. And we also got 3 of the student journals. Now, I don't know that I'm gonna have my 2nd grader do this. It's for 5th through 8th. And again, that's a little bit of a stretch in the other direction. However, if she wants to, if I tell her like, hey, this is optional, do you want a chemistry workbook? She probably is going to say yes and be excited about it. And then if she does a few pages here and there and learns some chemistry stuff, great, but there is no pressure whatsoever if she doesn't want to. So these are the journals. I got one for my 2nd grader, one for my 6th grader, and one for my 10th grader, and we are going to dive into chemistry. Now, it's the plan for this year, but if we do not get to it this year, we will do it next year. And then how excited am I that I have a full science unit study with the read alouds ready to go for next year. I am not mad about that if that's the way it ends up going. Same thing for Little Hearts and Hands. So I am pumped about this. Oh, my poor baby. She has a little cold, which reminds me, I just did my first order with Earthly. Let me know if you use Earthly, if you've used Earthly wellness products. And I also have a link down below for you guys if you want to check out Earthly. It is holistic wellness products, all natural, like for immunity support and for dealing with the symptoms of things like this. But this is really funny. Our next unit, and the last thing that I want to show you that we got, we are also going to do the health and the physical body unit from The Good and the Beautiful, and I am pumped about it. This one says it's for grades 3 through 8. Again, I'm focusing mostly on my older 2 boys, but even more so including my 7-year-old in on this one. And my 4-year-old and my 2 almost 3-year-old will be hanging out with us as well. And so technically they will be here when we read the book, Story of a Cold. And so this looks really great. Like even just looking at the table of contents, it focuses on how the body's formed, the digestive system, the circulatory system, vitamins, the renal system, all the systems of the body, except I think the reproductive system. And I still have the maturation unit from the Good and the Beautiful that I plan to do this year that we still haven't gotten to. And we also have the safety unit. So we have 4 units right now currently from the Good and the Beautiful that are like on deck, that I definitely don't plan on getting to all 4 of those units this rest of this school year, but I would like to get to at least one. And I'm thinking, I have to map all this out, but I'm thinking of a particular order. I will keep you guys posted, but I feel like it would kind of be a natural progression to almost do this one and then the maturation unit, because it'll be like, okay, now just for my older 2 boys, we're gonna dig into the system of the body that was not covered in here, and it just might feel like a really natural progression. So I think that's probably what we're gonna do, but I'm not positive, because also we are getting ready to finally start our natural medicine unit. So I feel like if we went from our natural medicine unit to this, or maybe even like halfway through our natural medicine unit, start on this, I don't know. I have to work out all those details, so I will keep you guys posted. And again, any of these that we don't get to this year, we will do next year. So just like chemistry, we also got the books. So this is a 7th and 8th grade extension for this course, and this is about Dr. Daniel Hale Williams. And so I'm excited about this. This is a level 7 book, but again, will be a read aloud for all of my kids. And then in this little picture book set, let me just get this open. We have the story of a cold, which I just love the way they teach in story. It's like got total living books vibes for me, which I'm all about. So this is all about kind of how you catch a cold and what's going on there. I love learning nonfiction information in story form. I love it. I just love that style of learning. And then 50 amazing facts about bones. I feel like that is super cool. So that's going to be really fun. I feel like they're going to be really interested in this unit, which really excites me because I feel like I'm really interested in it too. So that should be fun. So course book, read alouds, and then again, we got 3 of the student journals. Now, for this particular course, it is not the same journal for all of them. I got the grades 3 through 6 one for my 2nd grader. So you can see it's much more simple. She's gonna love this. I know that she's gonna love that. And then for my 6th grader, even though this is 3 through 6, I got him the grade 7 and 8 one to go along. It's longer, it's more in depth. He can definitely handle this. So you have to know your child, number 1, and also know like what you want them to get out of it. And so for me, I liked the idea of him and his older brother doing the same things, because then they can work together, but then he can also help his younger sister if she needs it. And so that is what I chose for my 6th grader. And I think I made the right choice. I will keep you guys definitely posted whenever we get to this. Look at this Bible activity. I love when curriculums include connections to the Bible and to our faith. I absolutely love that. So that is all I have for you guys for today's unboxing. I have the beginning readers and workbooks from First Step Phonics. And then we had just to recap, we had the Africa reader from the Good and the Beautiful. We have science for little hearts and hands for my little ones. We have the chemistry unit with the workbooks and the read alouds. And then we have the health and the physical body curriculum with the journals and the read alouds for them. Let me know if you've done any of these units, if you're doing them, if you plan to do them. I would love to hear any feedback about like level or anything good or bad that you have liked about them, or advice that you have. Definitely let me know down in the comments below. I have the Good and the Beautiful and First Step Phonics linked down below for you guys. And I will keep you posted. Maybe by my February goals video, I will have a better idea for how and when I plan to do some of these units. And I also share more over on Instagram. If you don't follow me over there, you can follow me there at rooted_homelife. If you are not already subscribed, I would love if you would subscribe. Stick around for all kinds of homeschool, motherhood, and faith, big family life, all of the things. If you're new here, introduce yourself down in the comments. I love to get to know you guys. Sometimes it takes me a little while to respond to comments, but I always try. And if I miss your comment, always leave me another one, because sometimes that notification will bring my attention to something that I missed. So I hope to see you soon in one of my next videos, and until next time, stay rooted.